When it comes to hated footballers, there is no one like Luis Suarez. He knows the art of diving and cheating, and at the same time he is a different animal with the ball. He is so good that people gave him a nickname, El Pistolero, because his finishing is just crazy. He could score goals from every angle with only one touch, and he surely is the best striker of our generation. But some of the things he did turned Luis Suarez into the most hated footballer in history. In this video, we are going to analyze his career, his achievements, and ultimately the dark things he did. Suarez lived his early years at the Cerro neighborhood in Salto, where he played youth football at Sportivo Artigas. When he was 7, his family moved to Montevideo, and that's when a terrible incident happened. This accident could have ended his career from a very young age. When he was a child, a car ran over his foot, breaking his 5th metatarsal bone. Despite that, he never stopped playing football, and in the end, it was the best decision. In 2005, Suarez began his senior club career at Nacional. At the age of 19, he signed with Groningen, and at first he struggled a lot, as he couldn't speak Dutch or English and he had to adapt to the Netherlands, which was certainly not easy. Still, giving up was never an option, and he put in a lot of effort into learning Dutch. His teammates respected that, and Suarez was getting more comfortable with each day. And then the goals started to come. But he had disciplinary problems as well. In one 5-game stretch, he scored 4 goals, and at the same time he received 3 yellow cards and 1 red card. So you can see that from a young age he was never the most respectful player. Not in the worst way, but he was just not someone to represent fair play. In the 2006 and 2007 season, he finished with 10 goals in 29 games, and the club who saw the most potential in him was Ajax. They offered 3.5 million euros for him, but Groningen rejected, as they valued Suarez higher. Luis was upset about this, and he brought the case to the Royal Dutch Football Association to try and facilitate the sale, but they ruled against him. In the end, Ajax increased their offer to 7.5 million euros, and he was finally sold. In 2007, Suarez signed a contract with Ajax, making his club debut in the Champions League qualifier against Slavia Prague. That season, 2007-2008, Ajax finished second in the league, with Suarez scoring 17 goals in 33 games, making an incredible partnership with Huntelaar. In the 2008 and 2009 season, Marco van Basten, the head coach, noticed something interesting about Suarez. He was an incredible goal scorer, but again, he had disciplinary issues. Suarez was suspended for 1 match because he was given his 7th yellow card of the season against Utrecht. Ajax ended 3rd with Suarez scoring 22 goals in just 31 matches. The 2009 and 2010 season was when his stats started to get insane. His striker skills were put on a show. He scored 2 goals in the second leg of the KNVB Cup final and finished as the tournament's top scorer. Ajax won the cup final 6-1 on aggregate over Feyenoord, but they finished second in the league behind Twente. Luis ended the season as the Eredivisie's top scorer with 35 goals in just 33 games and had 49 goals in all competitions. Now, if these are not insane stats, then I don't know if we watch the same sport. Then, looking at the 2010 and 2011 season, we could see where exactly people started to dislike Luis Suarez. The World Cup 2010 was an extremely important competition for him and Uruguay, but here is where it gets controversial. In the quarterfinal against Ghana, the score was 1-1 and the match went into extra time. Then Ghana sent a free kick into the box and Suarez blocked Stefan Afia's shot on the goal line. Then he blocked another shot, but this time with his hands. This is one of the most iconic moments in football ever, because what happened next is just crazy. Suarez was of course sent off and gonna receive the penalty, but it was save. His disciplinary issues only got worse from here. When he returned from the World Cup on 20th November 2010, Suarez beat Othman Bakal on the shoulder. Ajax suspended him for 2 matches, and that's when he got his nickname Cannibal of Ajax. But the suspension didn't bother him, as Liverpool wanted Suarez. They paid $26.5 million for his signature. The 2011 and 2012 season was a bad one for his standards. He only got 11 league goals. But the highlight of that year was the racial abuse incident against Patrick Evra. Basically, Suarez racially abused Evra in a game against Manchester United. He was issued an 8-match suspension and a fine of $40,000. But Luis still disputed the decision and he denied all claims on Twitter and Facebook. In their next meeting, Suarez avoided shaking Evra's hand and he certainly had a bad reputation in England. Well, not only in the UK but in the world as well. Now, I'm not going to talk about the best part of his career in this video. We all know the successes he had at Liverpool, but like it said in the title, I'm going to explain why he is the most hated player in the world. And if we focus on this aspect, on 21 of April 2013, during a 2-2 draw against Chelsea, Suarez beat Branislav Ivanovic, with this being the second time he has beaten an opponent. The officials didn't notice it, but still, the FA charged him with violent conduct and he was fined with an undisclosed amount by the club. At first, it was a 3-match ban for him, but in the end, it extended to 10 games. In May 2013, Suarez made up his mind and thought that a move away from the club would be the best decision. But then, the World Cup happened. In 2014, the most famous biting incident happened. It happened in the final group match for Uruguay against Italy. In the 79th minute, Suarez clashed with Giorgio Chiellini and he beat his shoulder. He even had bite marks, but the one who dived was Suarez. The FIFA disciplinary committee banned Suarez for 9 matches, meaning that he no longer took part in the World Cup squad. The ban also meant that he won't be able to play in the 2015 Copa America, with this being the longest ban in World Cup history. But wait, there is more. Suarez was also banned from taking part in any football-related activity for 4 months, meaning that he could not train or play in any official match. 6 days after the incident, Suarez apologized to Chiellini through Twitter and Giorgio said that everything was forgotten and he hopes that FIFA would reduce his suspension. On 11th of July 2014, Suarez agreed a move to Barcelona, with his ban not preventing him from transferring. The fee was 82 million euros, making him one of the most expensive players in football history at that time. He missed the first part of the season as he was still banned from all football activities, including training with Barcelona for 4 months. He was also banned from entering any stadium, even as a spectator during the same period. In the end, the Court of Arbitration of Sport allowed Suarez to play in friendly games and to train with Barca. On 18th of August, Luis made his debut against Club León and it was finally the start of his incredible career at Barcelona. He made his competitive debut on 25th of October, starting with Messi and Neymar in attack away to Real Madrid in El Clasico. He set up Neymar for the opening goal, but still they lost 3-1 in the end. From that moment on, everything went only up for for Luis Suarez. On 25th of February 2015, Suarez scored twice as Barca defeated Manchester City 2-1 in the first leg of their UCL round of 16 tie. He again scored in Barcelona's 3-1 win against Villarreal in the Copa del Rey semi-finals. On 15th of April, Suarez scored 2 goals against PSG in the quarter-finals, and one of them was an iconic goal that will be remembered forever. He nutmegged David Luiz and then the ball went straight into the top right-hand corner. Everyone was stunned, but still, he had way more to offer. In May, Barcelona met Bayern Munich in the second leg, with Suarez setting up both of Neymar's goals, and they went on to win 5-3 on aggregate to reach the UCL final. And then it was time for another world-class performance from Messi, Suarez and Neymar. MSN. In the final against Juventus, Suarez scored to put the team into a 2-1 lead and to eventually win 3-1, thus completing a treble. Suarez ended the season with 25 goals and 20 assists, while MSN scored 122 goals together, the most in a season for any trio in Spanish football history. With those records in mind, that still wasn't the best year for Suarez on an individual level. The 2015-2016 season was when he showed everyone that he could be as good as Messi or Ronaldo on his day. It didn't take him long to get going with the goals. He scored in a 5-4 extra time victory against Sevilla in the Super Cup. Then on 31st of October, he scored in a 2-0 away win against Getafe. That was his 300th career goal. And on 21st of November, he made history by scoring in a 4-0 away win against Real Madrid at Bernabeu. Barcelona just destroyed them. Then he scored twice in Barcelona's 3-0 win against River Plate. And that's how Barca won the Club World Cup, with Suarez finishing as the top scorer. But things weren't going so well for Barca in the UCL, as on 5th of April, Suarez scored both of Barcelona's goals in a 2-1 comeback victory over Atletico Madrid in the first leg of the quarter-finals. But then they were still eliminated, and here is when things started to get insane, like really crazy. So listen closely, because what I'm going to tell you is something that gets under the radar a lot. On 20th of April, Suarez scored 4 goals in a match, with a hat-trick with assists, in the same match. Only 3 days later, he scored another 4 goals in a 6-1 win against Sporting Gijón, becoming the first player ever in La Liga to score 4 goals in back-to-back matches. On 30th of April, Suarez became only the second player in the history of Barcelona to score 35 league goals in a season. On the final day of the La Liga season, Suarez again scored a hat-trick, registering 40 goals in a league season. He won his first Pichichi award and the second European Golden Shoe. And it may not sound that impressive, but he did that in the Messi and Ronaldo era, which was just impossible. He became the first player since 2009 not named Messi or Ronaldo to win both the Pichichi and Golden Shoe in a season. The front three of Messi, Suarez and Neymar finished with 131 goals, breaking the record they had set the previous year for most goals by an attacking trio in a single season. Well, we could look further into his career and achievements, but we're talking about his bad side. So, are there more incidents? Well, not really, but his career is not looking good. Since he transferred to Grêmio, he pointed out about his knee issues, which could represent the end of his professional career. He wanted to join Inter Miami, but that didn't happen. And now he has shortened his contract until the end of 2023 because the Brazilian league is just too demanding, and he can't keep up to that level because of his knees. Now, does Suarez deserve to be the most hated footballer? Well, many of you might say yes, because he did a lot of questionable and bad things. I could agree with that, but does he deserve to be one of the most loved players ever? I would also say yes. His bad side is what makes him unique. It is what makes Suarez Suarez. Despite his controversial side, his skills and ability are untouchable. He will forever remain as the greatest striker of our generation. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the story of the most hated footballer in the world.